Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 25 Life Eat Spoilers. Today is day 59 in the game. The especially good news is that Scary Week is over. I think the real scary week was not even the friends we made along the way. It was what we were all being treated as viewers of this show. What a terrible week this has been of just pure nothingness and misery.
Yeah, this was oh my goodness. This season's already like really long. And then to have this on it where there's like, oh, and here's just kind of this throwaway week where, there's only two people that are kind of in danger and no HOH, no veto, no real nothing. It was like, wow.
It was grim and sad, and at one point made us question our sanity. Like, this is a really good comparison that I have in my head about it, is that Jess and we are in the process of watching The Fall of the House of Usher, which is coming on Netflix very, very soon. We're going to have reviews here at the channel, but it is basically like this amalgamation of all of Edgar Allan Poe's work. We have felt like characters in an Edgar Allan Poe short story through all of Scary Week, slowly losing it. Not to the point where we've got like dead things hiding underneath the boards or the walls or anything like that, but it has been rough. But we have made it. We are on the other side.
Yeah, this did not feel like scary week. This was super lame week. It was just, yeah. I mean, normally we even have three updates a week, and here we are. It's Friday. Our last update was Monday. It just feels like nothing was really moving around.
Yeah, if we came on here on Wednesday, it would have just been us staring into the camera for 10 minutes because there was nothing to say.
Yeah, I mean, we're back now, and now there is some stuff to say. That we have a new HOH, and things are moving along. We finally are back to Big Brother.
Okay, well, before we do move forward to get into all of this, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more Big Brother updates through the rest of season 25. There is still, as we have alluded to, a good bit of the game left to go. Also, Survivor 45 is
Mhm.
officially here.
Yep.
We did our full discussion on the premiere a little bit earlier this week, so we suggest you check that out. And by subscribing, you help us to keep doing these videos that we love so much for you guys.
That Survivor premiere was something else. We're not going to get too into it, but like, whoa, I don't know, man. Yeah, we've got that review up for you.
Yeah.
If you're watching Survivor or you're thinking of watching, that premiere was like nothing I'd really seen before.
Biggest train wreck premiere I think I've seen in quite some time with this show.
Yeah. Okay. So Cameron and Jared. So Cameron completed the challenge during the show in the allotted time and he returned to the game. And I think that that's not really a surprise to anybody. I mean, Jared's been winning some stuff too, but Cameron has just been like, steamrolling when it comes to like competitions and stuff like that. He feels very confident about a lot of things, and
Yes.
he's feeling pretty confident about that because he did complete the challenge in the allotted time and he returns to the game,
Yeah.
and Jared has left. So, but in her goodbye message, Suri told Jared that she will do everything that she can to stop Corey.
There's a lot of comedy in all of this. The idea that like Survivor legend Sari Field's biggest opposition is less like this really
Corey.
Corey, this small nerdy man who has grown a mustache throughout the season, and it's just like this is your biggest threat, Sari. No, I mean you hit it on with Cameron. Like, he is a really big competition threat at this point. Like,
Yes.
the longer this season goes, the more these people have to be shaking their heads about why did we get rid of Heisem instead of this guy? I mean, I liked Heisem as entertainment, but just that aside, I know Heisem was winning too, but would he be winning as much as Corey is? I mean, as Cameron is
Mhm.
now? Because like Cameron, oh boy. Okay, well, it's a lot. And guess what, guys? It may continue to be a lot, but
Yeah.
going into the live show last night, and this is where there was just a lot of it was like blah 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 blah, but like Felicia had become sort of a group target for a number of people if she won, or at least that she was becoming kind of the name that everybody was saying out loud because she could be targeted without a lot of damage. being sort of given elsewhere and that everybody could sort of feel okay. It felt like everybody was being very, very cautious leading into whatever was coming up next.
Yeah, and Matt confirmed in the diary room that he and Jag are not targeting Corey directly
Yeah.
since they're safe with him, but they'll be fine if like Blue or Cameron did it.
This is the part of I think what's so interesting about where Matt and Jag are in the game right now, where, I love Jag. I have made that very, very clear. I have also made it very clear that I am very skeptical about Jag's abilities when it comes to Big Brother, but it feels like they're in a really kind of interesting spot right now because they are threats, but there's also really bigger threats in the game. But because there are bigger threats in the game, it felt like they and a lot of other people didn't seem to be as like gung ho about fighting hard for HOH at this point. This is
This has been going on a couple weeks now where so many people have not been wanting to go for that HOH.
tinfoil hat time here.
Mm.
Is the HOH room cursed this season? It feels like they believe the HOH room is cursed because Riley won HOH, gone. Heisem won HOH, gone. Jared has won HOH, he gone now. Cameron was gone for a brief period of time before he became a zombie, but it feels like so many people who have won HOH have like been a target. There's a real fear about it. I mean, Felicia won HOH though. Felicia's fine for now. ...
Speaking of winning the HOH, I think it's not a surprise really to anyone that Cameron won the HOH, especially with so many people that are kind of like, I don't really want to win this one. Like there are too many people in this house that do not want to win the HOH, like a larger group of people than normal that are just like, I could really do without not winning it. And it kind of makes me wonder then, is Cameron this good at winning this many challenges, or is he in a situation where there's so many people that do not want the HOH, not necessarily throwing it, but they just aren't trying hard because they're kind of like, I really don't want this, that he's able to just keep winning stuff over and over and over again?
I think that's a good take. I think it is a situation where other people, whether it's they're right or wrong in thinking this, think that, okay, maybe Cameron is somebody who can do a little bit of our dirty work. We'll have a chance to get rid of him later. Like, I mean, I think Cameron, he's at least good under pressure. Like the fact that he won that comp to get back into the game, like I'll give him some element of credit for that. I think Cameron's both greatest strength and, worst part of his game is that he gives zero what's about anything because, he's already been lied to. He's already been evicted. He's been a zombie. I think he just feels like he's playing with borrowed time. If he wins the game, it's going to be because he won his way there. And, regardless of what anybody may feel about Cameron, like if Cameron makes it to the end of this game because he's won competitions the rest of the way, I'm not saying he's going to win, but he's going to have an argument at jury, and that's going to be a very tricky thing. Granted, social game still does matter, strategic game still does matter, but we all need to be aware of this right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's still so much time left. If he wins all the way to the end, HOHs and vetoes and HOHs and vetoes all the way to the end, I mean, how do you not give it to him even if you just don't like him? Like, how do you look away from that resume? It is still like 40 whatever days. That's a really long time to have to win your way to the end.
And this is the part I would be really afraid of when it comes to Cameron right now. Like, apparently Matt and Jack also did pretty well in this comp, but it was a puzzle-themed comp from what we've heard on the feed. So Cameron can do physical stuff, but he can also do puzzles. Like, he's still going to have to really win me over with like some of the late competitions that are a lot about like memory in the season and all of that sort of stuff. Now, previously when we saw Cam in Power, he did do this whole sort of thing where he kept his nomination sort of secret from everybody before we had like the big, pie in the face spectacular. He's told, well, I still love that.
I love that.
Feelings about Cameron or whatever aside, like that was, I'm never going to say no to people getting pied in the face. He's told Felicia that he's not really going to do that this time around. Then like Nicole and Felicia have separately kind of already discussed like trying to sell themselves to Cameron as, we're people you can be in comps, because I think they're smart enough to sort of realize this is probably his path at this point, and
Mhm.
it's just sort of like, okay, if you want to win your way to the end, do you really want to win your way to the end versus people who have a better chance of beating you than possibly we do?
Yeah, I think it's just he's the biggest competition threat that's in the house right now. Like there's no one else that's really up against Cameron that he would look at and be like, well, like his resume of winning is like wild. Like there just isn't anyone else.
So, not that long ago, in one of our last updates, we talked about The Fugitive, this
Mhm.
new alliance that Cameron has formed with Matt and Jag, where I don't necessarily believe that Matt and Jag are like, I don't know, that serious about it, but Cameron, he wins a lot. You don't want to be a target of
Mhm.
Cameron. Cameron has apparently given out his list of people he is going to target to them. I mean, Cameron does lie a lot. Take this with a grain of salt, but here we go. Felicia, number one target. Nicole, number two. Blue, number three. Corey, number four. America, number five. Sari, number six. Why Sari is number six? I have no understanding of that at all.
Yeah, I'm just guessing that because she's kind of on her own right now, that people aren't seeing her as a threat, which is, a mistake.
Yes, it's a big mistake. Like Sari, I would be absolutely terrified of Sari if and I mean I would have been the whole season, but especially now, because if she makes it to the end now, when she's just like, I'm Survivor legend Sari Fields. You
Mhm.
people were dum dums. You kept me in the game. You didn't put me on the block. You did all these different things. I managed to completely school you in this. And by the way, no surprise to really anybody, Bowie Jane is the person that Cameron is the least worried about. Like, I think that he's probably less worried about her than Matt and Jag, but he's not going to tell Matt and Jag that.
Yeah, if Cameron ends up at the end with Suri, if anybody ends up at the
Yeah.
end with Suri, it's going to be you have to have like a really amazing resume to be like, yeah, I brought the Survivor legend
Yeah.
to the end with me. Why?
I
Why
don't.
would you do that? Like that's not great. That's like, when we saw Big Brother, the All Stars, if you bring a winner to the end, whether they did well or not well, if they made it to the end, I mean, they're probably going to win over you because a winner actually got to the end again.
The saddest thing about that is you bring up this Cam and Sari example. I could totally think of Cameron like convincing himself in his head of some sort of ridiculous argument as to why he's going to beat Sari, and then he's going to
Mhm.
go up there and utter that nonsense, and he's going to get completely plowed by Sari in the jury vote.
I think it depends. Like, if Cameron wins his way to the end over the next 40 whatever days, and then he's sitting with Suri, I think it would be tough. Like, that's a really solid resume.
If Cam beats Sari in the final two, I may need to
Oh my
retire from Big
goodness.
Brother Twitter forever.
Ugh.
Like, I don't, I think, that Twitter may be too dangerous at that point. No, okay, so Felicia and Nicole seem to be the likely nominees right now, with the caveat once again, Cam lies to people about stuff. It's happened before, could happen again.
Mhm.
Felicia looks to be the target for now. America, though, has kind of already started to try and push Nicole more to Corey. Like, Nicole has not built up a lot of allies, but she was social later in the night with
Mhm.
more people than she usually is. So clearly she's nervous, and this is really one of the first times all season that I've actually seen Nicole nervous.
Yeah. And it sounds like she should be nervous.
Yeah, like she should be, because I've tried to think a little bit about this. Like, who would I think in the game is more dangerous to me, Felicia or Nicole? Like, I think Nicole in the short term maybe would be somebody I'm a little more afraid of, but in the same way we've talked about Sari and we've talked about Cameron, if Felicia's in the final two and she's just like, I am the oldest person in this house, I'm not a physical player, I still managed to get. I would be very tempted to vote for her just because the story would be so great, and
Mhm.
I like Felicia. It would be really hard to not vote for her.
Yeah, and I think people really like Felicia, and this game is a lot about jury management. If you send people out looking like a clown, they're not going to vote for you. It doesn't really matter if you win your way to the end, but then you're sitting beside Felicia, who like everybody really likes. And yeah, she's the oldest person
Yeah.
in the game. She's so likable. She's played a great, you know, social game. She has won like enough if people care about that on the
Yeah.
resume. I mean, she could win that.
Okay, so let's get a little bit into Matt here at the moment because Matt is frustrated with Corey in America because he feels like they are just sort of using him and using Jag in order to protect them, to keep them safe. It's probably one of the reasons why Matt is sort of trying to push Cam to go after Corey at this point. And, you know, hey, Corey is number 4 on Cameron's list, as we have already said. So if he's sticking with this list, Blue is going to be a replacement nominee over Corey, but you know, there's time to tell with all of this. It feels like Jag, even though, you know, Jag and Matt are close, that Jag would probably rather have Corey stay a little longer. And, you know, he's a little closer to Corey in America than Matt. And I think he is still has some distrust of Blue that's sort of been built in over time. But even if Matt and Jag disagree a little bit, they're in a really good spot with a lot of people wanting to work with them. They can win. Cameron's a shield. Nicole and Felicia are really the only 2 people they're not that close with.
Yeah.
Like, that's, it really feels in some ways like Cam is actually doing Matt and Jag's dirty work, I guess, in that way, where he's just making the road easier for the 2 of them moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay, Suri, we kind of talked about this a little earlier. Suri, you know, surprisingly decent spot now, number 6 on the list. Without her son around, she doesn't have a ton of allies, but she seems okay.
Yeah, it's just so weird. Like I don't understand that. Like giving her enough time to there's still a lot of game left. Having Cerise stay in the house and allowing her to be able to use her social game to be able to pull people in is such a mistake. Like why? Like again, the only sort of thing I can think of is that they're just underestimating her. They haven't seen her on Survivor. They just think, well, she's by herself now, so no one's going to give anything to her. She can't win at the end. You know, why would she win at the end? It's just like she's a Survivor legend, and a lot of people that are on the jury are going to know that. Like, it's just, I wouldn't want to sit with her.
No, I gotta think that these people are eventually going to be like, we can't do this, even if she doesn't have that many other allies. Like, I guess she kind of sort of has Blue because Jared wanted Blue to look after Suri, and it feels like she will. But man, how the turntables have happened for Suri in this game, because she's gone from, you know, she was close with Felicia. She had Izzy, who I still miss with every fabric of my being on the live feeds. You know, she had her son, and now her biggest ally potentially is Blue, who is just showmantic with her son. This is going to be a very big test of Cerise's social game over the next little while. Can she claw her way back from where she is?
Yeah. It's gonna be hard for her, but not impossible. It's Cerise.
Yeah, it's Cerise, and there's a lot of time left. Anything can happen. We'll see what exactly happens from here on out today.
Yeah.
But we'll be back with more Big Brother 25 live feed spoilers. So hit that subscribe button so you do not miss any of them. Also, thank you so much to our patrons for your support. We really appreciate that. We'll see you guys here next time.